Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today, Stacey and I shall continue our retrospective look at Snowfall as we discuss season 2. This is a spoiler review of the entire season as we did season 1. Thank you for all of you who watched season 1 and commented and liked. So we said, you know what, we'll do it one more time because on February 25th, we have season 4 coming, season 4. It's going to be awesome without John Singleton. It'll be interesting to see where the show goes without its creator. Well, what happened in season 2? Season 2, Franklin Saint has a series of firsts. He had his first sexual experience with Melody and some Latin woman before that. He had his first airplane ride, which he was very surprised about. Got his first international bank account because he didn't know where to put money, over $5, I guess. He also got arrested for the first time. Got his first ass whooping. His third ass whooping in this show. When he went to jail, we got jumped by Ray Ray and crew, and he got jumped by the Mexicans before that because they stole his shoes. So he had the experience that Leon had when he went to jail, as he was trying to give him that pep talk of, "Get your shit together, nigga. Just kill those people." I was like, all right, Leon, he's serious about it. He's like, yeah. All that being said, I'm surprised. And I'm just saying, he in prison. I'm surprised they didn't try to rape him. That's all I'm saying. Like, this is somebody. He is new. They had to look at him and say, you are soft. Can we try you?
But when they put him in that room and the dude was standing against the wall, kind of like, that's kind of what I got from that. But I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, that
wouldn't be nice. This isn't a Tyler Perry production, so.
I'm not saying they would succeed. Huh?
I said the assholes are safe for now.
Except for Lenny's. Lenny got it. In fact, so check it out. Ray Ray and crew tries to rape Franklin in revenge for Lenny. So Franklin, forcing Ray Ray to kill his boy Lenny, comes back to haunt Franklin when he comes to jail. So that's why he got his ass whooped the first time. But it would have been interesting if they tried to take it to the next level. And he's like, nah. I mean, he gets away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't happen. But at least they would have tried, made a good effort. That's what I'm saying. It would have been kind of interesting. What do you think, Stacey? What do you think of his journey in season 2?
This is the journey I want for Tariq. I need some ass whooping, we need to see some hands on Tariq. But yeah, it just kind of shows you how he goes from smart and non-violent to violent adjacent to just straight up violent. Like, the first body he catches is his childhood friend.
Yes. In the back.
Next door.
Yeah. He shot Kevin in the back. And as we said in the first season, Kevin was the one.
Right? He said the leg, right?
He shot him, but I mean, since his back was turned, that's what I mean. It wasn't like a fair fight. Like, both of them were like trying to shoot each other. Like, Kevin was,
because he didn't want Kevin to start a shootout in broad daylight, but he shot Kevin.
Wait. He said, if you kill this Mexican who's a made man, that will cause a Mexican onslaught.
Whatever. There could have been some other way to stop this other than shooting him in the behind, some kind of way.
So in this moment, I would say he really didn't have a choice. Kevin put him in a position where Kevin was not stopping. So short of him jumping on him and trying to wrestle the gun away from him with some crazy shit, he was like, I got to put him down at some level. That's why I shot him in the leg. He just, I guess in school, he never learned anatomy that, there's a major artery in the leg. And once you get shot there, ain't nothing left for you, bro. Like he done.
Which is why cops don't shoot you in the leg. They just.
Or maybe like you said, they're trained to shoot center mass because it's just easier to shoot you. That's cop brutality. That's not what we're talking about right now. But that being said, I wish they would have showed us Kevin dying. Like, once again, I think it's a critical scene that they don't like give you that, and then so you can feel the aftermath. You have to hear it from somebody in another scene. Like, it takes away the impact of it.
They want to trick us into thinking that he actually survived because they're like, okay, I shot him in the leg. He's fine, And then we find out later, oh, he's dead, kind of like that shock.
And then Leon, he has to stick by Franklin so much that now he has to lie, even though he was there, and be like, it wasn't, it was the cops. Like it wasn't Franklin. Franklin wouldn't shoot one of us. Like he absolutely would. I mean, but like you said, the fact that the first person he killed was a friend of his. The first person he shot, period, was a friend of his. None of the people that beat his ass, what I'm saying, and robbed him quite a few times, it was his actual friend. So I mean, for the business, ultimately, as Kevin said, Franklin puts the business above all, um, which is harsh. So
I could have took it a little bit better if it was like, okay, he was telling what's the Mexican chick? The recipe?
Lucia,
Yeah,
Lucia,
Lucia.
huh?
Like he gave away the recipe.
Yeah.
And then they had to take him out because like I would have took that better than him trying to save the war against the Mexican. I don't
So wait,
I,
wait. So they would have cornered him if he was on his way to give up the recipe and they killed him. You would have took that better.
or if they found out, oh, he gave up the recipe, what are we gonna do? And then Franklin had to make this tough decision, like, what do I do? And then he
Kill
decides
him.
to kill his friend.
Okay. All right. All right. I can see that. Cause then and then it's more premeditated, right? He has to sit there and be like, what you gonna do? It's like, I gotta do what I gotta do, right? Because we told you, like, this is our business. Didn't that remind you of Family Business? When he's like, the formula is out. When he was like, heat belongs to us. This belongs to the Jenkins. I think they're called the Jenkins. Remember when he was like, right, for us, by us. That's what I'm saying. They're kind of like Franklin's like, crack belongs to me. No, it belongs to Swim, because that's where you learned it from. And no one ever hears from Swim again. Like, he doesn't hear that this guy named Franklin Saint is making mad money off of crack, and he don't go, motherfucker, like, that was me.
And why did Franklin Saint never have like a moniker?
Oh, like the Saint. Oh, he is the Saint. I mean, depending who you talk to. I mean, I guess you're looking for Saint Patrick. You're
Like,
looking for the ghost.
the Saint. Like he needed like I don't know
A
what's
thug monitor. As many
Thomas
times,
or something. Like I don't know.
as many times they saw Scarface, he should have been like, I need a moniker. Like, I need to be called somebody. Like, but like, if he was walking around calling himself the Saint, like, that would have been something. That would have been cool. Because the Saint was an actual TV show, like in the 80s. Like, if he would call himself something like the late 70s, 80s. Like, if he would call himself that, like, that would have been something. You don't remember the show? That was the thing. Anyway, look it up. All right, so okay, let's talk about people who know too much about Franklin shit. I could be wrong. That's what I'm saying. If you look it up for me, I could be wrong. I don't think I am though. But so let's talk about Franklin. So early in the season, we find out that too many people know what Franklin does and how he does it. So let's go back to, I like to talk about Joanna's sales. So Franklin and Kevin are sitting in the ice cream truck because Franklin decided that the best way to sell crack to the kids and the family is to be a family ice cream truck. So what happened to the fat guy that owned the truck? What happened to him? Did he get bought out? Did he die? We get no answers. We should have saw Franklin, give him a stacks of hundreds and be like, hey, go out there and start your new life. This truck belongs to me. Something. Anyway, he's sitting up there minding his business, selling his crack, when this woman walks up to his truck and is like, hello, Franklin. I know you moving crack, and I know you moving it out of this truck. Will you help me help your deadbeat drunk dad? And he's like, I don't want to help my dad. But since you came to me, I will talk to my dad. Why don't you ask this woman how the hell she knows who you are and what you do for a living? Why don't you pull her into the truck?
He knows that Franklin Saint is the crack connect because he has no moniker.
He like Tommy walking around his legal name.
Thomas Patrick Egan. Yes,
this is my mama. That's my. I'm just like, it didn't make any sense that he was not up as much as he's paranoid about who knows what and who's come to my house and we need to keep everything secure. This very lovely young woman comes to his place, knows everything, and he don't jack her up. He don't like tie her down somewhere to be like, hey, let's have a conversation. Who the fuck do you know? How do you know so much about me? And who else have you told? And you ain't walking away from here now because you know too much. He needs to be about that life.
According to Leon, they don't jack up women because he got rough with Wanda.
Oh yeah.
Getting high off the supply. And Leon was like, hey, you don't do that to women.
She a female. I was like, she high as shit though, man. And I told you, Frank is once again, he's like, I told you, leave this women alone. You cannot have them near the product. They get on the product. So again, I asked the question again. Kevin never became a crackhead. He tried the product. Lucia, how did Lucia figure out that Franklin was the one selling rocks? Because she had one rock and she's like, we got to move this drug. And that's how she went to go talk to Gabriella and the other Mexicans, because she's like, we need to get on this crack stuff that's being sold by the Mayates, which is what my Mexican friends called black people when I was going to high school in El Paso. And they're like, David, that means crow, but it's not in a good way. I was like,
these crows are black.
I get it, but I'm saying he's like, there's things get lost in translation. Like if you try, it's like, trust me, it's like the N word. I was like, well, thank you, Mexican, for explaining this to me.
Like or
eggplants. Or eggplants, which is what the Italians call. That's another conversation. But so in this thing, anyway, we got racist Mexicans who are telling each other that the blacks, are selling this thing called rock cocaine. How did they know that Franklin was the one selling it? Then Franklin tells his people, like Kevin's cousins, do not sell in the Mexican territory. They don't listen. They get murdered, by a super killer Mexican. They never confirmed that. They said that was not, what it was possible.
He ran to the house like, they got his dick out. They cut his dick off. Man, we gotta go.
This is man doing man shit. He literally said.
I was like,
Jerome was like, this is man shit. Sit down, Louis. You don't know nothing about balls. Like, let's go do some ball. Anyway, I was like, what are we doing? Anyway, let's back up. Anyway, so Joanna sells. She convinces Franklin to go help his dad, who happens to take up his cleaning job at the convenience store. I bring this up because if Franklin, being the businessman that he is, realizes that at some point he probably needs a legitimate source of money just in case people start looking into him, why didn't he buy that store or a similar grocery store, as I believe Kevin or Leon came up with the same idea? They're like, he said, one of them said a check cashing place or some shit. That's what he said.
They needed Eugene in his mathematical wizardness to find out how to funnel the money into a clean check.
That was a child in the future. The the hood economic savant has not been born yet.
Every hood has a Eugene.
So that's supposed to be Franklin. And I was in this situation, but I'm saying he should have bought that store, and that would have been a good base of operations to store all his money. And let's talk about what is Franklin's motivation? Why is he doing it? In 2 seasons, he is no financially better off than he was when he started. He's still living with his uncle. None of them have come up.
He got 3 houses. They got 3 houses.
Only at the end of this episode, 2 houses are. Oh no, his 2 friends have houses, and he just killed one of them. So one of them has a house, and he's still living.
All in the business name. So
they all still the same neighborhood.
Got mad because he's like, it's not in my name. How's it gonna be in your name if you didn't sign the paperwork, bruh?
Also true, but he probably don't know the way property works. I mean, none of these kids really know how property works. I'm assuming Franklin knows because he took some classes in college, I guess. But Franklin didn't even know what a business, huh?
He got the dude to set it up for him. Remember
when he got the bank guy. He got the bank guy to set it up for him. So, but I'm saying, so let's even talk about that. So Franklin, being the smart one out of the bunch, it took Teddy to be like, hey, bro, why you walk around in bags of 1s and 5s? And he's like, that's how my people, give money. He's like, ever heard of a bank? He's like, a black man can't walk into a bank with a whole bunch of money. He's like, I can understand that. So he takes him to the International Bank, and he sets him up with a new ID, sets him up with a bank account, and that starts his, his process, right? But like I said, even with that, and he's like, I get into property. And I'm saying, but like it's not, Franklin knows better. He can't just show up in the hood, saying with a Lexus. But I'm like, do something to make your life better. Like, it shouldn't have taken you being robbed by your lawyer's brother and his brother, and Peaches had to kill, to be like, hey, maybe we should get some better doors and security for this place. Yeah, that's a good idea. It shouldn't take that Franklin is wanted for murder for them to go, you know what? Maybe we should not live in the same place that we sell and produce drugs. Maybe that should be in a separate place. Oh shit, man. Why didn't which one of y'all went to college? Oh, that's right, Franklin. To be like, hey, bro, how about we get another place and do it there?
Rick still ain't figured that out.
We you know what? No, we can let power go just for a little bit. But you're right though. I want to see Tariq holding his prison set of sheets and toothpaste and toothbrush, hoping not to get raped. That's what I need to see. And I'll be like, he needs to feel the real life. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't felt that real life. Even Ghost went to jail, which somehow was the first time. We're getting off track. All right. Point is, Franklin went through some shit in this season, but Lucia and Gustavo really went through some shit in this season. So Pedro comes back with the Fed girlfriend, Lucinda, who ended up being working for the DEA. She ends up getting everyone arrested ultimately, just to find out that Teddy had to pull out the big CIA guns to get the operations shut down. So then he recruits the DEA agent to work for him.
Mm-hmm.
Then, because of the sting operation, they got Kevin shot. So then super killer Mexican gangster sees Lucia, then shows up to her place with a knife. This man was the deadliest person. He was Tommy level. Like, he was Tommy level murderer. Like, he don't need guns and shit. He got a knife in his hands and he will kill 4 or 5 people and walk away.
That's a Mexican stereotype.
I mean, it is though.
And knives, you know.
It is. So let's talk about like Kevin's, cousin and his friend. He walks up to the first dude, stab, and the other boys just watching, like, oh man, this is really messed up. Like, maybe I should do something. He pulls out a gun. He can't even shoot this man point blank in the rain. He shoots him in the arm, like, oh shit. Then he gets stabbed in the neck. I was like, God damn, these guys are bad. But then Lucia and Gustavo, who you saw take out 4 Mexicans, like bam, bam, bam. This one guy almost kills both of them. Gustavo's bleeding all over the fucking place. Lucia is bleeding too because she got shot like earlier, and she shot the guy 3-4 times. He's still going. Like, only Tommy's that powerful. He's like, I can take bullets, everything. Bing, bing. I'm still alive. I was like, what happened? This guy's too good. Anyway. So Gustavo ain't looking good for him, bro. Like, it just ain't look. And then Lucia had to kill Pedro, which she should have did in season 1. I don't know why she thought she was going to let him live and he wasn't going to come back to kill her or put her in jail. I mean, the man snitched on her. I mean, she was 2 seconds away from being killed from his dad. Frankly, that guy was definitely going to kill her. Like, once he figured out the books, Lucia knew that she was not long for this world. So she should have just killed Pedro altogether and it's called to be done with it. I say. Anyway, Teddy, he makes it a family business. He recruits his brother Matt, who was taking care of their dad, very, very courageous, noble, to take care of his dad, to be the pilot, flying the first the cocaine from Colombia and back. Then he recruits him to be flying weapons. So then they have to go to Panama with Avi. Now, Avi, instead of being a drug seller, so instead of receiving drugs, instead of him buying drugs from Teddy, now he's selling guns to Teddy, all to pay for the war in Nicaragua with the Contras. So then they go to Panama. They have a great time in Panama. Franklin doesn't go this time, but he ends up in Panama in season 3. So we'll talk about that when he goes to Panama in season 3. That gets wild. He's stepping up, like that part. But then again, Franklin goes to jail for killing his friend. Then he has to ask, of all the people he knows, who does he call for help? Louie. What do you think of Louie this season? How do you think she was, Auntie Louie, how do you think she was treated this season?
Well, she said she was being disrespected, She wanted the code to the safe. She wanted her cut, but it wasn't about the money. It was about the respect.
Do you feel she had a point?
Girlfriend beat her ass, or tried to. But she got to hook up with Uncle Clifford and do a show at the club.
That's right. Uncle Clifford, only after watching P Valley can you look back on this and be like, is Uncle Clifford. So what do you? What do you think though? Bless you, bless you, bless you. Did Louis have a point? Do you feel like she was being disrespected? Was she not being appreciated? Bless you. Shit. She's falling apart. Oh shit. Louis was in a bad situation. She left Claudia because Claudia abused her, really. Even though she helped her out from the streets as being a street prostitute that she kept on throwing in her face. She tried to come up, but then she actually went to what was the name? Jerome. She went to Jerome. She went to Jerome thinking Jerome would treat her better. Then Jerome is not appreciating her. He's treating her like a child.
Shit.
This is so then she goes back to Claudia. Claudia at least gives her a ring. Takes her to New York, treats her good. But then when Uncle Clifford shows up.
Yeah, she called her. What? She was like, oh, what did she say? I had to pick you off the stoop.
Yeah, you a street hoe just selling your butt for anybody. Fucking anybody with a wallet is what she said. I was like, damn. But then what Claudia said, which they didn't show us, was they were like, I know you're trying to get the club from me. You're trying to buy the club from me. And they never actually showed that, even though that's what she asked Franklin for. They never actually, and in fact, she goes to Franklin early in the season. It's like, what happened to you? I slept with this woman. What happened? You giving me the club. So it'd been nice to see, where did Claudia get that from? That they start. That's one of the reasons why they started fighting. And then Claudia got her ass whooped. So then she's in the hospital. So then I thought that Claudia's henchmen were gonna come after Louis, and all that, but and Jerome, and that never turned out to be anything. So then she had to go back to Jerome, who stole a bench from the beach as a sign of their love, which didn't make a lot of sense. I was like, if a man will steal a bench, huh?
Every couple has their thing. So
there was a bench, and you find out that he didn't even pay for dinner that day. Like, he acts like he said he forgot his wallet and she had to pay, and she's still with this dude. I'm like, damn, girl, you need to make some better choices. Like, where's your family? You gonna send Franklin to your family, who obviously weren't treating you right. That's why you left and became a prostitute in California. So I'm like, I wouldn't be trusting her family, which we haven't seen or visited. She don't call or nothing. And when she gets mad at Jerome, she don't head back to Tennessee or whatever. She wanted to send Franklin.
That was New Orleans or something.
Either way, it wasn't in California, and she's never been there. But she wants to send Franklin there. But she was the one that Franklin looked to for any kind of smart leadership in this organization when he's in jail. And then I wondered, how did he get so many instructions to her if he's in jail? Like, those phones are being monitored. He had to know that, or at least somebody should have told him that.
They have their own language.
That would have been a good scene to be like, how did he tell her, go talk to a guy named Teddy, meet him, and set it up, let him know I'm in prison. We still need to work the business. Well, what business? All that kind of stuff. But anyway, she sets it up, and then Teddy says, I gotta get this Franklin out of jail. So he luckily recruited the DEA agent that's testifying against Franklin. She changes her story, and then Franklin goes, this man is dangerous. He must be working with the Nicaraguans. How did you get there? I was like, how do you know this guy's not DEA or FBI? He's like, nah. This is bigger. This is international. He's like,
he got the first Apple computer, and got
the big old floppy disk.
He got on Al Gore's internet.
I was just like, Franklin, you should be working for the CIA. If you figured all that out, you had some.
The series was about. Remember the finale where he was having all these visions?
Yeah. That was
like he was being recruited by the CIA. Or something?
Like after he got shot and he was going through like shock or whatever. Like, that's season 3. Yeah, season 3. He has his fantasy of how he wished he would have met Teddy, and how things would have
happened. He just don't remember. They have those things where it wipes your memory. So, like, if they come and recruit you and you say no, then they just wipe you and send you back.
This is MIB. There's the men's in black. They like bloop. He's like, I'm gonna miss you, Teddy. He's like,
And
no,
the
you won't.
thermometer that they put up to your forehead and
There
fry
you
your.
go. Boop. He's like, no, you won't. You won't, Franklin. You won't remember me. Boop. Oh, what? Hello. What's your name? My name is Teddy. What's yours? Franklin. I don't think we ever met. Anyway, so we'll get to that when we get to season 3. So it was a very interesting season. To see Franklin fall, rise and fall, the business kind of expand. He and Teddy, even though Teddy, like kidnapped him and tried to torture him for a while, like he still built some kind of mutual respect for him, even though they don't trust each other. He respects Franklin's intelligence and his drive. As we talked about in the first video for season 1, I like how Franklin acknowledged that he's like, I didn't create crack, but I am going to make it an empire, much like McDonald's, which I didn't even know that. I didn't realize. I mean, I don't know how much that story is true, that the 2 McDonald's brothers started McDonald's and then somebody else came in, franchised it, and kicked them out.
You should watch the movies. That's actually really good.
Oh, really? There's a movie about it? Oh, maybe we should review that.
That's true.
I was like, that, yeah. So I was like, that's real shit. And I was like, and then again, where's Swim? Swim never comes back to be like, you owe me half your business, if not more.
He might be dead by now, for all we know. Or maybe he just went back to making beats.
What?
Wu-Tang. Come on. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to
Yeah, I get that. Well, why would you? Is that the actor that played the same dude? I don't know why you said. I didn't see that. What?
David.
What? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. My bad. My bad. What? Is that really the same actor? Or is that like, say something? And so it was.
Wu-Tang Clan?
I know who Wu-Tang Clan is. My question is, why is like, are you just making a general reference? Or are you saying that was the guy?
He's in the Wu-Tang Clan, David.
Oh, he's actually in the Wu-Tang Clan, the dude. I did not know that. I know who that fuck that dude was. I'm sorry. I know Method Man. It wasn't Method Man, was it?
No. The RZA.
Oh, I don't know, dude. I thought it was Old Dirty Bastard. I was only 2 of them I really know. The rest,
David.
My bad. In the comments, someone lists all the members of the Wu-Tang Clan.
RZA, Inspector Deck, ODB, Method Man, Ghostface Killer. You got the one I always forget. Everybody. I'll come back.
Anyway, so my point is, okay, that Swim, the character, never came back to claim the fact that Franklin built the whole empire, and Franklin was about to go like international with this shit. I mean, he was like, I got plans for crack houses all across America. And then I know he's doing this for his people, but it really irritates me that this man is going to use slavery and segregation and white man oppression to justify selling crack to his own people, which turned Wanda into a pipe breaking crackhead. That she was stuck to this bathroom so much in the kitchen that she broke the pipes so she can run out and buy and get more crack. And somehow this is him uplifting his people. What the fuck? Like if he just would have said, I need to come up, which he hasn't come up, he still lives in the projects. Like he is no better, as I said, he is no better off. He is no better off than he was when he started. If Jerome said, I made 220 grand in a couple of weeks, here's 110, Louis. If the people in that neighborhood had that kind of money to buy crack, how about you improve your neighborhood? How about you reinvest that money and to help the people around you? Instead of
he was trying to do in season 3 when he got his mama to take on his real estate ventures.
So mama went from I'd rather be homeless. One, let's start with the fact that she and daddy got back together again. Which again, everybody needs a redemption story, right? The man shaved, like he got his shit together, he got off the alcohol. I mean, that's all great. It's just interesting to me, though, I thought that he didn't get the draws until he gave up the VA money. Like he was like, hey baby, here's my benefits. And she was like, here's your benefits. You've earned this. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe he felt man enough to even try because he's the one that initiated the set. But he's like, I need to come home with some money before I ask for the draws. There you go. There you go. There you go. So, you know, Cardi B would be proud and Meg the Stallion, I guess. But I just they, and then like for Franklin to be like, I'm in jail. I just got my ass whooped, and now I'm looking at my drunk daddy standing with my mama, looking at me like I'm the failure of this family. He's like, mother, fuck. Like he was so mad, and then he was able to channel that anger against the Mexican who stole his shoes. I was like, there you go, Franklin. He got them shoes back though. He was like, I was like, all right, there you go, Franklin. And after seeing that one dude just
like slippers when you go to prison.
Yeah, I think you could walk around in Adidas. I mean, those are a pair of Adidas. Maybe in the 80s you could do that. Maybe, you know, after people start hanging themselves, they're like, maybe you should get some slippers. Because that one dude, he was just, I remember watching this the first time. That guy was just slowly just taking the sheets apart. He just hung his damn self. Franklin was like, am I going to hang myself? Am I going to get my ass whooped again? Am I going to get raped? I was like, no, I got to fight back. He's like, or he talks shit. He just mind fucked Ray Ray. He was like, I know where you live, and you better not mess with me. Right? He was like, I see you. I see you. Ray Ray could just kill them and be like, well, you can't talk to anybody. We kill you, right? You can't put out hits on our family if you're already dead in prison. So
I already gave word to Jerome. Something happened to me. Bomb the house.
That's what he should have said. That's very clear. That's what he should have said. He said, I told Jerome that if anything else happens to me, all your families are dead. He should have said, I know who you are, Tyrone and Larry, whatever. And like, I know where you live. And be like, look here, Jermaine. I don't know. This is talking about the Jackson 5. He's like, look here, Jermaine, Jesse. I'd be like, hey, I know where you guys live. I don't know. Jesse Jackson had women issues in the 80s. I didn't even know. I was like 6. I didn't know that.
Yeah, women issues?
Yeah, because Louis said this Jackson loves pussy, and that's why he can't be president. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming he has some affair issues going on. They try to be very historical.
Yeah, like side babies and everything.
Yeah, I know. I was only 6 in 84, so I was like, I wasn't tracking that stuff. I didn't know about the Contras either, you know, because I was too young. And the Iran Contra thing's gonna happen eventually. Like that's gonna come. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about unnecessary middle people. So Lucia finds the crack somehow, whatever. She hooks up with Gabriella, the lead of the other Mexican gang that Lucia's trying to branch out to. She tells her that again the Mexicans are selling. Why didn't the Mexicans therefore go directly? Why didn't Gabriella just go find Franklin? Like why is she working through Lucia? She didn't get the recipe, but you don't need a recipe if you got direct wholesale. She's paying Lucia for nothing. When I can just go find the black people and work a deal out with them, for example. But then again, ultimately, Lucia, well, she's pretty much dead right now. But you know, she got the form. She's alive, but she ain't doing too well. But then Gabriella has the formula, so then they're gonna start cooking. So there's gonna be a lot of competition out there when it comes to The Rock. Wanda, again, is just a perfect example of how bad this thing is, and how Franklin really doesn't give a shit that like how addicted Wanda is until it becomes Melody. Like next season, he's definitely gonna care. You know what I'm saying? And then that's gonna be interesting. Once we get into that, when the crack epidemic really hits home for him. Right now, it's hitting home for Leon, who's somehow still committed to this thing. He's very loyal. He's very loyal, despite all the crap that they've been through. That Kevin, that get this whole thing like, and Kevin did, and then Franklin goes to Kevin's grave.
Isn't that what all killers do?
All right, Tariq. All right, Tommy. Yep. Just sit there and talk to you like, hey man, you know, I mean, I didn't put you where you were. I didn't mean to do it, but I did. So you know.
You made me do it.
And I'm not really worried about you. I'm worried about the white man who got me out of jail. That's why he told Kevin. He visited Kevin to go, I do not even lose sleep over the fact of killing you. I'm losing sleep over the fact of the white man that got me out for killing you.
Yeah, he had no remorse, just like Tariq. No remorse.
Dude, rough, 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 rough. Anyway, we will see what this goes. Oh, Matt is really messed up. He got caught by the Colombians and was forced to do cocaine for like 4 days, and he is all fucked. His nose is bleeding. He will be addicted to cocaine in season 3. That's horrible. Um, and then I really thought he was gonna die, to be honest. Um, and then like Avi's is all kinds of crazy. But he's still a great character. He's still absolutely great. Again, a Lobos type, insane. You don't know what's gonna happen, but you're still watching because he's entertaining as he is dangerous.
Mhm.
Um, so we'll see how that goes. All right, anything else for season 2?
Um, we didn't get a lot of the dad. Um, the Melanie's dad or whatever her name is.
Oh yeah, age Andre. Franklin's real big on calling men by their first name, like even his own dad. Like no one's dad. Like he's like, I can call you Mister Nobody. Like he's very like, I'm equal to all of you, or you're just not that somebody I look up to. Like you don't believe in looking up to men.
With much male figures, so he didn't have that in him, I guess.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But Andre, I mean, yeah, you're right. Andre, he really doesn't become. I mean, he's the one that got him arrested, though. He's like, I knew you can't stay away from your mama. In the end, Franklin is just a boy who loves his mama.
Isn't that typically the case?
Well, usually raised by our mamas, because none of them had daddies. All of them was like, you see my mama? You talking to my cousin's mama? You talk to his mama? Where are your daddies at? It's like, nah, they just.
Well, Andre was a daddy, and we saw what happened to him. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So it just gets bad. Like daddy's just not really non-existent in these things. Or I think the bad things happen to them. So it's not really around. It's really the mamas and their kids. Until one day the boys become daddy swarming around. It just becomes just a bad cycle. It's a really bad cycle. But yeah, Frank, he's real though. He was like, eventually Franklin got tired of his mama. He was like, look, I tried to buy you a house and you still ain't happy. So just get the fuck out of my face. And she was like, I'm sorry, why you feel like? I was like, look, what else you want me to do? She's like, I'd rather be homeless. Me and your daddy who just came back from getting cleaned up, we'd rather be homeless.
And then she found out that it was drug money that got the down payment in the first place.
In the first fucking place.
Living in the drug house her whole life, and didn't know it.
Now what? She's like, oh, never mind. She's like, you know what? We gotta get on this crack.
We all made him what he is.
No, Franklin made Franklin who he is. Like, oh, that's right. His Peanuts, aka Roberts, aka his Jaden. So yeah. So when the white boy says, hey, Franklin, let me have a couple of bricks, I can move it where I live. And first Franklin said, yeah, take a brick, make some money, bring it back. He's like, can I get 3 bricks? Then he finds out that his dad stole the cocaine because his porn business is not doing well. I'm like, how's it not doing well? It's the 80s. Like, it's not like the internet is destroying you. I mean, that's what. So, what is the problem, sir? Anyway,
Late fees on the tapes, probably.
if you know what, to your point, if he would have said theaters aren't buying movies like they used to, now it's all this VHS stuff, that would have been interesting. That would have been interesting. That's what happened in Boogie Nights. Like the theater industry was being dwarfed by the VHS industry, and they didn't know they couldn't keep up. And that's what. So it'd be interesting if they would went that route. But anyway, the funny part is that Franklin and Jerome and all of them show up, and Franklin is watching like Peanuts defend his dad, as Jerome is like, slap your daddy. No, really slap your daddy. I was like, damn. But in the end, then he started slapping the daddy, and Jerome was like, and Peanut was like, stop it, man, stop it. This is my dad, stop. And Franklin was like, you know what? Maybe I should give my daddy a shot. Maybe I shouldn't treat him like shit all the time. Maybe I should try to be good to him and love him or something. And the next scene, he was like, you know what, Dad? Well, help take care of you. I'm gonna help you get your shit together. Let me talk to this black girls and get your stuff. And it all worked out. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, if he can forgive, I can forgive. It's beautiful. That was beautiful. Anyway, sorry. I don't know. Father's Day's coming up. I don't know about that. All right, guys. Anything else? Who you did not see is Melody, to your point. You just seen Andre, nor do you see a lot of Melody. I mean, like I said, she gave up the draws, once, but I mean, she's not really involved in this like she will be in season 3. So she will have her come up and then. All right, guys, that is the video. If you guys still watching, thank you very much. I'm sorry I did not know who the Wu-Tang Clan guy is. My bad. But if you did, just put it in the comments. Stacy, like, she doesn't make me give back my black card. I never said I was a hip hop guy. Never said that. Absolutely not.
Didn't even know that from the Dave Chappelle special, the racial draft when they had the Wu-Tang.
That was fucking funny, man. He had to read it. He was like, "Konnichiwa, bitches." It's like he's not gonna remember that. Like, just put it on the card so he can read it.
Delegation, and they said their names. The Chinese delegation chooses the RZA, the Jizza.
I couldn't tell any of them motherfuckers apart. I remember they said Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing. That's all I knew about it. And Method Man wasn't up there, and I would have been like, "Oh, Method Man, old dirty bastard." He was still alive at that point, right? He was still alive. Was he? He was still alive at that point. Anyway, I'm getting off track. If you're still watching this video, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You can like on the video. You can comment on the video. More importantly, share the video. Help us grow this family. If you enjoy us, help other people enjoy us. And we can try to get to 1,000 subscribers is the goal. Again, and we will see you again next Sunday for a season 3 review. And they will be set until February 24th. Until we get season 4, it's going to be awesome. Franklin is back at the head of this organization, and we will see who's still left standing, because quite a few people die in season 3, and it's just getting really, really bad. I mean, shit. I mean, Franklin always gets it. But anyway, we'll do all that. So even though Chris is not here, as Jerry Springer says, take care of yourselves and each other. One day, Stacey will say it. But not right now. She's not on board yet, but we'll get her there.